This episode of Out of Spec Reviews is brought to you by Magna. More on that later. Hello and welcome back to another Out of Spec Reviews video. Welcome to the new electric Eqs SUV and welcome to beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I am here at a test facility, test track here at the factory where this vehicle is going to be produced. Of course, they already produce Mercedes-Benz SUVs here, such as the GLS and GLE. Some of the highest quality Maybachs even come from here. But today it's not about that. It is all about experiencing the new electric Eqs SUV. So let me take you on a quick tour of it, and then we're going to jump inside and go for a ride. This is the Eqs SUV, and it is essentially an EQS on stilts, and I think it's honestly the one to have. I think it looks a little bit better, looks a little bit less awkward, I have to say. It's a really good looking shape. Now, obviously, we don't know exactly what it looks like. It's under some camouflage here. I can already tell you the hood's probably not going to open because you can see the washer fill over here on this side, but everything pretty much carries through. It's built on the same EVA 2 platform, has a 107.8 kilowatt hour battery pack as expected. This particular one that we're going to go for a ride in is a dual motor version. I'm unsure as to what exactly it's going to be named, but you can guess pretty much the same specs from the EQS sedan. It's going to have a ton of torque, a ton of power. It's going to feel really good. Now, just recently, I've been spending a week with the EQS the EQS sedan. You can see the hyper screen in here. It's pretty much the same interior, almost no difference. Couple little software tuning things that have been adapted over time, but nice split roof over here. And it does look like it does open up with a sunroof, which is wonderful. And so personally, I think just right off the bat, look at the seating position. This is eye level. So much better than the sedan where the hyperscreen's a little bit taller. So really, really enjoying this. Forgive some of the impromptu filming here. I just got off a plane and they said, hop in this thing. I was like, hell yeah, let's do it. Nice reclining rear seats. Let's see how this works. They go back a little bit. Looks like we hit something. They come forwards. We have some climate control adjustments, and we even have a third row that when you put the second row forward, they claim has even more headroom than the GLE, which is I don't see one around here. That's a GLS. Let's take a look inside the trunk here. Cover the badge. Wonder what kind of car this is. Here in the trunk, looks pretty good. Take a look at the underfloor storage. Actually, not too much. Doesn't seem like there's that much under there. It looks like we can fold the second row. How about that? So you can fold that down on that side. You can see the seats look really comfortable. Love that this is a 3-row. This is going to be like a perfect shuttle car, I think. Really, really, really nice. And then the third row should... I'm going to push some buttons, figure out how this works. I'm not sure. How to fold. Oh, there we go. I just got to push it farther. There we go. Push it farther. And there you go. To actually really nice flat loading. How about that? Love it. You even have some padded armrests back here, cup holder, little cubbies. Not seeing any USB ports for the third row. Perhaps that will come. This is not pre-production. Air vents for the third row. That's very nice. Everything looks good. I mean, this is as expected here from Mercedes. It's basically an EQS SUV, and that's what this is. Let's take a look at the charging port here. We know it can charge at a maximum of 200 kilowatts, 500 amps at 400 volts. There's a 400 volt system architecture. I already have a charging curve on this battery pack. I expect it to be the same. That felt like a power charge port door. That might be different. Hear that? That's different. Power charge port door. Interesting. I think this is going to be the one to have. Anyway, let's jump inside and go for a ride. This episode is proudly brought to you by Magna. Magna is a mobility technology company that is super unique because they touch every aspect of almost every car in the market, especially a lot of electric vehicles, and they even can produce vehicles from the ground up. Now, you may remember I shot a series just recently testing some of their new electric vehicle powertrains, so stay tuned for a lot of Magna content to come. We're going to be going in depth with some really interesting topics with these guys, and Out of Spec wants to thank Magna for sponsoring this review and tons of other videos to come right here on Out of Spec. We look forward to working with Magna to define and find out what the future of mobility looks like. What was your name, by the way?
Holger Ensmann.
And what was your name?
My name is Max from Communications.
Hey, Max.
And I'm from development in Sindelfingen. One feature that I like to show first is we also have now active content on the passenger screen. That's something that you didn't recognize with the EQS,
right,
because it wasn't there. And now we've got also
and can you do it in motion though, or
that's the point that I'd like to show you. Okay, let's if I look at the screen right now, then it fades out, and now I look at the street, and now it should be visible for you.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah,
that's cool.
And we've got a stereo camera right over here.
So you're using the same cameras as the driver assistance.
Yes. And it detects very perfect. Do I look at the rear, at the side mirror, or look at those screens, or look at this screen, and then it's faded out after some seconds, and not.
Yeah, but it doesn't actually stop the video. It just makes it so it's really hard to see, more or less. Yes. And then it brings it back.
It's faded out. It's a little bit visible in the background, but not for the driver. So that's one feature that we introduce now with the in this year with the EQS SUV. Okay, and as you know, as long as you know the EQS very well, now that's our third vehicle on the EVA 2 platform. It's now the EQS SUV, and as an SUV we've got a third seat row right over there, as you saw.
Yeah, and it seems to be a pretty big third row, maybe bigger than a GLE or something like that.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, which is really nice.
It's an EQS, so it's more comparable like the GLS. Yeah.
So my impression sitting in here, it feels just like an EQS sedan, except I'm sitting up higher.
Yeah.
And I would say a little bit better sight line out front from my side. Yeah. And are we going off-road?
Yes.
So what drive modes do you have?
Yeah, I show it to you. That's the original off-road track that were built for the GLE and the GLS.
Oh, really?
In former times. And we've got an off-road drive mode with off-road engine control, steering control, suspension control, and so on and so on.
And ESP will allow more.
Yeah, and also ESP. You've got a little bit more slip on the wheels and a very fine control. And
then I can see it says compressor is cooling. I assume the suspension, because you've been raising.
Yes, we did a lot of playing around, and it's only only information.
Yeah, prototype stuff.
Okay, and we also introduced or incorporated an off-road menu. Not also.
Oh, how about that?
So it's the drive and the suspension, and
that is pretty neat. So does this have rear steering?
Yes. So
is it 10 degrees?
It's 10 degrees. It's standard on this vehicle, so it's 10 degrees, and it's also we've got the air suspension standard for the EQS SUV. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Okay. Now we in the off-road drive program. We've got an off-road screen, and later on I can show you some cool stuff with video cameras.
The battery pack is the same as the sedan in this particular one.
Yes.
So 450 volt full, 400 middle nominal, more or less.
Yes. That's the same voltage like for the
sedan.
One thing, as long as tomorrow is the opening of the battery plant, it's this battery is assembled here in Alabama.
So this battery will be built here then.
Yeah, the battery plant is 5 minutes drive from here.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it's also as long as you cannot bring those large batteries, or you cannot travel them through the whole world.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we've got a
It's
local.
much more sustainable to build
Yes,
them.
yes. We've got a local battery assembly.
What
right
was
here.
the rationale for going with a 400-volt system instead of 800? Obviously cost, but you really could have had better charging performance, and CCS is 500 amp maximum.
For us, it was much more important how many kilometers I can recharge in 50
so
minutes, for
range
instance.
was
So
more-
it's not
yeah.
only you've got a peak. With 800 volts, you
Yeah.
can have a peak, and for us, it was more important to have a very flat curve on 200 kilowatts for a long time.
It does 200 kilowatts till about 40%, and then it just slowly comes down.
Slowly
It's a
it comes
wonderful
down.
curve.
Yeah.
Yeah. And good thermal swing too.
At the end of the day, in a lot of countries, you only got those 400 volt charging
Right,
piles.
and then you would need a booster on board.
You need a booster, and you lost for booster system. With booster system, you lost the efficiency.
So as a global approach, it made sense for today to stick
Yes,
with 400.
yes.
But in the future, could you see yourself going higher?
we are watching the developments, and it could be that we will have other systems.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and as we see right now, also the camera systems are helping him much.
Take a look at this. This is awesome.
We can stop right over there. Perhaps you want to make a video.
Yeah, would I be able to film you going down through here? Would
Yes,
that be
yes,
okay?
yes.
This is
it's
quite an angle.
Please don't step out here. It's not so easy. I bring you to the other side, then we can,
and then you can
approach
back through
back.
it. So what is do you know the approach and departure angles on this? It seems pretty good.
You can see it.
Oh yeah, take a look. Yeah.
On this course, we go up to 40%.
Interesting. So is it okay if I get out and take a video of you going through? Thanks.
And as mentioned, we steer the torque on each wheel up to 10,000 times per minute, so 200 times per second, and you've got this immense torque on each wheel. Very fine steering, and it's so easy to go off-road with this vehicle. Also to stop here. Now we've got 27 degrees.
Yeah.
And nearly effortless. It goes
so silent too. But you also have the 6-phase motor.
Yes.
Which helps a lot with reducing cogging.
Yeah.
And it's the same.
We've got also this downhill speed regulation feature right over there.
Yeah.
And then we can check it right out.
Oh. And obviously we'll have some rear steer in off-road mode too.
Yes.
Wonderful. Rear steer is magical.
Yeah. We have on the other part of the track, you can see it very good, and it's really fun to drive.
This is so interesting. So this was built for GLE and GLS testing, this course?
Yes. The feature here, I can also go for that while driving, but I guess the auto feature is best. Now detects that you want
Can't even see where we're going out the front.
So, me not even, yeah. So now we go with downhill speed regulation.
And so it's doing all of that.
Oh,
wow, this is gnarly. So in off-road mode, how much of regen are you using, or is it primarily friction brakes? Because I can feel ABS going on friction brakes.
Yes. To be honest, I cannot give a number on that one.
Yeah.
So
you can do over
normally
200.
we recuperate up to 290 kilowatts.
Yeah, which is the biggest in the industry.
It's amazing, yeah. But especially in this off-road program, I'm not sure. I guess we use a little bit more the mechanical brakes.
Yeah.
But I don't have ratio on that one.
Yeah, no problem. This is insane. Just to like look over here is crazy. So do you stiffen the damper in off-road mode a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah, that way when the car comes down it can support its weight. Do you know how much it weighs? It's got to be 6,000, close to 6,000 pounds.
Yeah, the final numbers will be released at the press announcement date.
Off-roading in silence is something very special.
It's really cool, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, where I live in Colorado, we do a lot of this type of driving, and this is the most luxurious way to go on the trails then. Yeah, that 6-phase motor really is pretty impressive on those insane... I've never felt an electric motor that has such little motor cogging. And so what was the decision to go with this 6 winding instead of 3?
It's efficiency first, and it's also power and torque. That helps us much, and the refinement of the control of the motor itself. Obviously, we've got taller brakes in these vehicles, taller side shafts.
Okay.
Not to make the sedans too heavy,
Right.
but it's in a platform system where we can have different parts with different weight and ratio, or a bit different size and so on. But it's on the same platform, those parts that we can use. And we had the EQS SUV in mind, starting the development of this platform, of this architecture.
This is such a cool course. I mean, it feels rock solid.
Yeah, and
Yeah, it's really stiff.
now we can open up the windows.
Yeah,
And-
as you mentioned, the silent drive in the nature.
Yeah,
I can feel it.
it's wonderful. Really is something special to be able to cruise around in silence.
Yeah.
Have you done electric off-roading before the EQS SUV?
No, I'm honest. Not.
Yeah, it's really something wild. I haven't done enough.
You can only hear the fan of the air condition. It's
Right,
only the air condition. It's nothing else.
Not even the conditioning
Yeah.
system. So rear steer
And
is
I
really
guess
good for this.
I assume they closed the camouflage a little bit too much.
Yeah. And I guess I have to ask too, so in EQS sedan and this will have the same strategy for the braking system, which is this blended brake pedal where it
Yes,
goes
yes,
regen
yeah.
to then a physically connected, not a
Yes,
brake
yes.
by wire.
No, it's not a brake wire system.
Yeah.
No.
And what was the decision to not use a brake by wire? Do you know? Maybe it's okay if you don't, but I guess to me, to be totally transparent, I love the EQS. I'm a big fan, but I think the braking is maybe the weakest point of the car.
Yeah. Yeah, the different efficiency is one point on that one, and
But the power is strong when you really get on the brakes. It has massive brakes.
Yeah.
This is
I guess
insane.
we've got different vehicles also for the influencers. We had some pre-production cars. I'm not sure which state it has the EQS that you drove. It's a
it was series production.
Was series production?
Yeah. I've driven the prototypes and then also now the series production.
Okay. And once again, this course is not especially prepared for this electric vehicle, but it's amazing how it performs on this course.
It really is amazing.
And I drove the course with a vehicle without rear axle steering. It was another vehicle from Mercedes, and it's much more fun and much more easy to go with the rear axle steering to this course.
Yeah.
So with the GLS, you have to work much more. Yeah.
Well, it's amazing that the
not
rear
hitting
axle,
those trees. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to damage a GLS, but like it's amazing
I'm sorry.
that
Can you say that again,
every
please?
time. Sorry.
Mercedes.
Yeah. She and I don't like each other so much,
Yeah.
just because every time she comes on. It's amazing the rear axle steering doesn't overheat.
But you can
I'm sorry, but I can't help you with that right now.
That's okay. But you can deactivate it and can start the speech control with this button. Yeah. For guys who say Mercedes.
Yeah, whenever,
then
I
you
just
can
turn it off. I just turn Hey Mercedes off. Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Okay.
And so the layout on the screens are the same. The new thing would be the downhill speed restriction or the control.
the off-road modules, the downhill speed regulation.
But then you still have efficiency mode. You still have comfort and sport.
Eco, comfort, sport.
And no sport plus. Maybe down the line sometime.
perhaps.
Yeah, not needed.
Yeah. I like the zero layer concept. You don't have to go out. You've got previous destination, for instance. Let's go to Atlanta. Let's go.
And it will do route planning and plug and charge.
The route planning is done on board very fast, I guess 2 seconds. And now he's finished, or he's finished with the off-board done calculation of the charging and so on, of the calculated route with some special features like charging and so on. So depending on the course itself, on the driving behavior, the last miles, and also go we down uphill or something like that, then it calculates how is the consumption. We arrive with 29%, where it is 29% in this Electrify America station in Oxford. Have to recharge in 10 minutes up to 46.
And the nice thing is you'll do route planning, preconditioning of the battery pack in cold weather, and plug and charge, which are the 3 things every EV needs, but not every EV has. And I love that you can set your max charge limit too.
Yes. And we see now it's the charging that's also new. We've also incorporated with the EQS. What's the maximum charging right now?
Right at this state of charge with the current battery conditions.
Now. It's not pre-con, and you see the 100 kilowatts without pre-con and having 68. So that number is low.
But if we were down here and the battery was warm, it'd show 200.
Then you see the 200. I like also for. I am not sure if he brought but for nerds like us. We've got the EcoCoach app. I am not 100% sure if this is available here. That's my private car. I drive. If you drive the vehicle, you've got points. For instance, good parking at lower SOCs. If you park the car every day with 100%, then it tells you try this feature or try that feature.
So good.
And you get points. It's a gamification approach.
But it will help prolong the life of the car.
Good parked at 40%. Drove good driving score of 65. Driving score of 84.
This is a Sindelfing, right?
That's my vehicle in Germany. But
so your driving score must be terrible, because if you're going Munich back and forth, you can just go wide open at night.
Yes. But with an EV, you drive a little bit relaxed, much more relaxed, not so...
You just stop in Augsburg or Friedberg, right? Charge up at Ionity for 10 minutes. And
But that's also something new at Mercedes, to have this gamification approach. It's not the old style Mercedes, everything is engineered, over-engineered, sometimes a little bit over-engineered and very German style, straight approach. Now we've got this gamification, and I like it. And also you get points for having a charging limit of 80%.
And I like that you can go from, well, in the case of EQS, 50%
so
up to wherever.
For your daily drive, you set to 80%, save the battery, and schonen. You have the battery in good condition. And so.
But for long term, maybe 40%, 50% is better if it's going to sit for a while, right?
Yes. Okay, so with the EVA 2 platform, or with the EVA 2 architecture, I guess we changed also at Mercedes. We changed a lot, bringing a hyperscreen display like that into a vehicle, have a lot of more functions incorporated, brought apps like the EcoCoach to life.
Are there any other EQS SUV specific menus other than the off-road stuff? Or is it the same from sedan?
It's some new developed features that will later come also to the sedans, like the charging speed, for instance.
So that can come through an update at some point.
And that's we talked about the zero layer, so you can start massage, and then we also have the massage widget right over here. And if my phone were connected, you also have a widget
call this person every day at this time, and that works really well, actually.
Or having radio, for instance.
But can we go to info really quick? Because I drove the Eqs 53 AMG, and under here it would tell us temperature on the battery and the motors, and average, of course.
That's also with the ICEs. AMG shows a lot more informations.
But it could be really useful in the EV space to give an idea of battery temperature. My suggestion would be.
But at the end of the day, my personal intention is it has to work for every customer, also for persons who are not so familiar with electric vehicles. So it only should work.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess from my impression sitting here, I mean, the most impressive thing is it feels like the sedan, and it's by far more comfortable than the Rivian off-road. It's more comfortable than any other electric off-roader that's coming on the market that I've experienced. It's just like I always equate, because I live in Colorado, right? There's a lot of mountain homes that people will be going to.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most comfortable way to get to your mountain house.
Great. One big issue, or one big thing, is the aerodynamics. So we got a track coefficient, the world record of 0.2.
Mm-hmm.
So we are not that good with an SUV. Obviously, it's a little bit higher, it's a little bit different form, but yeah, that's quite near with that one.
Strong power, feels the same as the sedan 580. It's good. And do you have stabilizer bars of some kind?
Yes.
And is that hydraulic or is that electric?
No, it's a standard mechanical stabilizer.
Oh, okay, just a metal linkage then, yeah. So no active body control craziness.
No.
What we need to do is we need to figure out a way to make the EQS SUV do the GLS bounce.
But there's a lot of energy consumption for those.
Oh, of course. Oh, I don't know if this or GLS. Feels good. Yeah, what's amazing is it's just a solid torque curve the whole way, but maybe a little bit of like half shaft vibration or something, just because we're higher up. It feels like, but it's so minor.
Max, alles gut.
So impressive.
Alles gut.
Alles gut da hinten. Yeah.
Everything good.
Not everybody can handle this. It's not.
No problem.
It's not an issue.
Yeah, we can get it sideways if you want.
I was in Sweden last week, and
at the
we
test track?
we looked through that window.
Yeah, because you were just doing neutral steers around. Yeah, that's amazing. So this is the rocky surface. So you have 1, 2, 3, or 4 different tracks.
Yeah. It's called Belgisch Block. Those Belgisch streets. So we've got different.
You have positive and negative surfaces here. And is this mostly for the factory to use for like vibration testing?
Yes. That's a normal track that they use. Every vehicle does a small track right over there, but every 20th vehicle has to go for further testing on this track. So.
Oh, that's neat. That makes sense. Has such strong performance. That's crazy. For an SUV, I mean, you really do, I think, have a better seating position than EQS sedan.
Yeah, it's higher.
Yeah, and it just feels like this is the one to get, in my opinion, because the dash isn't so high like it is in EQS because you're sitting higher. It feels better to me. It still rips.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the ride. And still some of the best turning radius.
That was some extra time, but okay.
Yeah, we all appreciate it.
That was a pleasure.
I guess we've got an opportunity to talk this evening.
Yeah, we
if there are
should,
further
sure.
questions, so it would be
Thank you
great to
again.
see you
That was
right
great.
over there.
And thanks for coming along, Max. That was great.
Yeah. I hope you enjoy your ride.
And there you have it, a first ride in the EQS SUV, and I have to say everything is as expected, but really impressed with its off-road capability. Not so much from a traction management standpoint, we weren't really like lifting wheels or anything, but the suspension comfort off-road was really good. Even with the dampers stiffened in off-road mode, which is what you want, high ride height and a stiffer suspension so you're not bottoming it out. It was extremely comfortable. The 10 degrees of rear steering made it extremely nimble, and I have to say that was quite an experience going through the off-road course here at the Tuscaloosa plant in electric, in silence, with the windows down. Really awesome time. Well, thanks to the guys for taking me for a ride. Thanks to Mercedes for having me out to experience this and to share it with you. And of course, more to come soon. Thanks for watching another Out of Spec Reviews video. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.